Hello everybody, and welcome to Foundations of Civilization, Part 6. So for today, we're going to take a look at the pre-globalized world, but more specifically, we're going to look into the post-classical era between 500 and 1350 CE. Starting the post-classical era around 500 CE is a midpoint when many of the classical civilizations were either declining or collapsing. Increased trade between civilizations, greater conflict between regional powers, and the continued diffusion of world religions characterized the post-classical era. In this video, we're going to primarily focus on this guiding question: what commercial and cultural factors shape the post-classical era?
And now for something completely different.
Now, trade is highly influenced by environmental variation. Since no two places are exactly alike, different environments produce different raw materials and offer different resources. So, a resource that is plentiful in one region would have less value than in a place where it is scarce, or more so if it is non-existent. Now, the Silk Road was a network of interlinking trade routes and cities extending around 4,000 miles and connecting vast regions such as China, India, the Middle East, and Europe. Now, obviously silk was brought into Europe, but also spices, dyes, jewels, and many other valuable goods were traded as well. The route was lengthy, dangerous, and expensive. In fact, some goods were over 100 times the cost in Europe from their origin in East Asia. Just as the Silk Road connected many Eurasian societies across land, the Sea Road linked many societies in the Eastern Hemisphere across the waters, more specifically across the Indian Ocean. Transportation across water is cheaper because it requires less energy and because ships can carry far more goods as opposed to beasts of burden. Trade along the sea road was very predictable due to the monsoons, which are wind currents that blow eastward during the summer months and then westward during the winter months. Since the monsoons were predictable, it lowered risk, which led to increased trade and profits. The sea road took centuries to form and grow, and true to other major trade routes, it was a conduit for the diffusion of ideas and religions. For instance, Indian culture spread along the region, including Hinduism, which made its way into some parts of Southeast Asia. But we'll look at the spread of another religion during this era to better understand the concept of diffusion. Islam had spread from Mecca in Arabia through expansion diffusion, in which an idea or innovation spreads outward from a core area. Islam spread by means of a subset of expansion diffusion known as contagious diffusion, affecting nearly everyone in the adjacent areas. It diffused throughout the Middle East, North Africa, and across the Sahara into West and East Africa. Islam also spread into places like Indonesia through another subset of expansion diffusion known as hierarchical diffusion, passing first to the most connected people or places. Had Islam spread into Southeast Asia contagiously, every region in between would have been affected, and this was not the case since India remained strongly Hindu. Islam diffused initially through merchants and missionaries who influenced leaders and people of authority, who then endorsed Islam as their official religion, and that epitomizes hierarchical diffusion. The Sahara Desert presented an environmental barrier separating North Africa from sub-Saharan Africa. Some trade thrived along the Niger and Congo rivers. However, most commerce remained regional. That is, until more resilient breeds of camels were introduced around the 4th century CE. This remarkable animal that could last 10 days without water allowed for the formation of the Sand Road. It was a series of trans-Saharan trade routes that connected multiple regions economically and culturally. Caravans could consist of hundreds of people, thousands of camels, and take more than 2 months to cross in a single direction. The silk, sea, and sand roads increasingly connected people from multiple regions. These trade routes amplified the rate of commerce, the exchange of ideas, and as you will see later, the transmission of disease.
Here they come! Open the door! Hey, those people on that bus are being attacked by those birds. Let's go save them.